Stop that. Stop that. We've had enough.
I just got done watching The Grudge. And that's exactly how you're going to feel after you watch this January horror movie.
January. Trash comes out.
This is when the trash month, and unfortunately, Grudge 2020 proves them right. It's more like, oh, yeah. We should have gone to a heavy metal concert instead and reviewed that for you because this film is fucking terrible. Tell them, guys.
Terrible.
It was a waste of my time.
Hey, the first 10 minutes were pretty good, right?
I actually like the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar way better now.
I mean,
Okay, so
That's a 10.
we start off
Compared to
the
this.
new year. I tried to start off the new year with a bang in front of my house.
It was a dud.
Check it out.
I'm recording you.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. That was the thing Will was standing on.
Yeah. And even that was more fun. I had more fun popping that one pathetic thing than I did this entire film. And it sucks because I, knew nothing about this one going in. Didn't really see any trailers. Had no what?
I didn't
Grudge?
even know they were making it.
I was so excited because
Remake
I thought
of a remake of a remake. So, what are you saying?
I was so excited because I thought we were seeing 1917 tonight. So I was like,
No.
yeah, we're getting a good movie. And
Apparently.
you're like, nope, The Grudge.
unlimited.
That's not out yet.
No, next week. I
Next
know.
week. So we're gonna watch that next week, guys. There was no reason to remake The Grudge.
No.
Especially when you put out such a weak-ass effort like this. A lot of people know January as a garbage month. This is where a lot of things are dumped into just to kind of get rid of it real quick. And that's exactly what this movie is. It starts all right. Maybe the first 15, 20 minutes you can be like, okay, maybe we're getting...
We could be going somewhere.
Could be going somewhere.
Nope.
I like the lighting, and hey, it's got Mandy in it. Y'all
Yeah.
remember Mandy from Nicolas Cage?
Watch Mandy. That movie
Mandy
was
was
great.
amazing.
way
So
better.
this actress, and she's the lead actress in here, though you wouldn't know it because the film centers on 5 different stories all wrapped
Yeah, I
into
didn't like
one.
that.
So what happens is you're trying to set up. We're in Japan, and we'll do a non-spoiler review, and then we'll talk about spoilers in just a bit, but it'll be quick. So we start with the original house, and we have this lady in the original house, and she's being haunted, and then she goes home. Okay, and then we have to deal with the fallout from her going home. But the problem with the film is that it's so disjointed feeling because it pulls a Witcher. And how dare I even bring that name up in such a shitty-ass
Yeah,
film.
how dare you?
Even compare the two.
Yeah.
But they do the time thing.
But at
where
least they
it's
tell you
like,
the time, though.
Yeah.
in huge letters.
It filled up the entire screen.
But it does-
2003.
It actually doesn't help whatsoever because just when you're like maybe getting into it, it pulls you into another area, and so you're confused. They purposefully confuse you and leave some of these character deaths and situations vague so that it can all sort of connect there towards the end and have a reveal of how are all these characters intertwined. We have basically 4 different families, I think. You've got the original, maybe even 5 if you count the original Japanese, and then the lady comes home and it's her family, and then the next people that move in, and then the realtors, and then Mandy and the cop lady and her partners. There's too many people here to make this interesting or build the tension, and by the time it starts with dispensing the jump scares, there's no time left to have a plot.
Yeah.
It's
What
like, where is this
plot?
going? It
Yeah,
goes nowhere. It's just jump scare after jump scare.
Yeah. and then every now and then there's like inappropriate comedy because I was like they lost me after 30 minutes, and I just stopped caring about the movie. And I was like, when's the next
big
jump scare
time.
coming? And then I think they purposely made some of the jump scares kind of funny because like people in the audience were laughing at some of the jump
Oh
scares.
yeah,
like
this is
how
one of the
ridiculous.
first time I'm like, praise be to God that this audience actually realized what a big piece of shit
Oh,
this
yeah.
was.
Except for that one guy who was trying to be funny and was
One of you-
clapping at the end.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was a sarcastic
I
clap,
hope
Joe,
so.
Yeah.
because it lasted ridiculously
like,
long.
no.
And
Good try,
everybody
though.
in the theater was laughing by the time it ended. Why do you
It
think
ended.
this is?
Yeah, it ended so weirdly too.
Yeah, it was very
It's
strange.
just like everyone's like,
No, that's
is,
not
is,
weirdly.
is that it?
It was like, well, the movie's
You
just
knew
like,
how- you
we're
knew how
done.
Yeah,
was
but
gonna
just
end.
like, well, you know what I can't really say spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers,
Just
yeah,
like,
no spoilers. There's like one thing you can spoil.
Yeah, the whole audience is like, wait, is that it? Do we go home now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We
this
should have
film.
left like halfway through.
That's this film. And, you know, I don't know. I was kind of hoping that maybe it would give me a reason to come out here and tell you guys, hey, you know, this new Grudge came out of nowhere. Had some great scares, and you should go see it. No, the scares are not scary.
No.
They're jump scares, all of them. There's
course.
a few gross jump scares, kind
Yeah.
of. But we've seen it done better elsewhere. The film builds no tension because you're constantly jumping to new characters in different time frames, and you yourself are disoriented. You're like, where does this fit in the time frame, and when does this occur, and why is this occurring, and you know all these things. And so by the time the scare happens, you're like, okay, you're just booga booga, booga booga.
Well, this suffers from
They
some,
barely do they do it like once or twice.
yeah, and it wasn't good. I mean, it doesn't fall. There's no rules to the Grudge, right? So you're watching Nightmare on Elm Street, and you know, don't fall asleep. You know, don't fall asleep. And then you're in the other one, like, don't have sex, or you know, Jason's gonna get you. This one,
Don't go in the house is the
well, the
rule.
house, but then once you're in the house, they're like wildly inconsistent on when they can touch you and they can't touch you. Sometimes they're screaming at you and not screaming at you. Sometimes
Just
they can
rushing
they can
forward.
kill-
10
they
years
can-
later, I
yeah,
finally see you.
they can kill you. Sometimes they appear to you and you're like talking to them and things are cool, and then they get upset with you. And so
sometimes they don't want to kill you.
there's
sometimes
no
they
tension
do.
because they're like, well, I don't know, did that character break the rules? Should I be afraid for them, or is this?
There was no rules. Yeah.
There was no rules, so you don't know when someone's in danger. You're just like, oh, are you just gonna like make that weird like?
Yeah.
It's like, is this the? Are you just trying to scare me, or is this the kill me weird noises?
And interestingly, The Grudge was kind of a bit of a franchise. It was marketed very interestingly in Japan. They had these things come on. The Grudge lady threw out the first pitch at a baseball game with their little underwear boy, and a second lady. I don't remember a second lady, but maybe the lady that killed herself, obviously, maybe in the movie at the end. So so she was the batter while the other lady, the Grudge lady, was throwing the ball. And it's like almost like they've made it like a little bit of a franchise. I think there was even a video game like Grudge versus Ring or something. There was another movie that were trying to do Freddy versus Jason.
I would watch it.
Well, go look it up, Joe.
I
There's
will.
Grudge versus Ring. And
I couldn't get you to watch like Amadeus for like 6
And I
months.
guarantee you that film would have been more interesting than this one, unfortunately. Some of the actors are not very good.
No,
Her
everything was,
son
like,
was
subpar.
terrible.
Well, inconsistent accents from like the lead detective was awesome.
Yeah. You've got this religious partner that she's got. He's like kind of like an older Hispanic gentleman that's like got Jesus everywhere and Mother Mary, and you think he's going to be like, I don't know, the religious guy.
You thought that plot with that arc was going to
Gonna
develop,
go
and it went
somewhere.
nowhere.
It went nowhere. You can hardly understand him sometimes, and then other times you can understand him fine. And
Everything went nowhere.
really, Mandy was the only one trying to put in some kind of effort into the film. And, of course, we also have a horror regular.
Yeah.
Oh,
poor
yeah, Grandma.
Lynn. She was
What's her name?
Lynn.
Lynn.
Yeah, she's the median from Sinister.
Yeah, and
Insidious.
pretty much
She was good
every
in this.
modern horror
Insidious,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, she put in a good performance. But
My
this
Fingers
is
hurt. Her fingers still hurt from. That's why she did what she did in
yes.
this movie, because we were just talking about Happy Gilmore earlier.
Yeah, so she puts in a good performance only because that's all she does all day long every day is horror films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
so
was
she brings her repertoire into the film, and honestly, she's probably one of the better parts of the film. All the creepiness with her and her sort of losing her mind. A lot of subplots that just really go nowhere. And there's even complete scenes that are just there to give the audience a little bit of a refresh so that they could go to the next jump scare.
Yeah.
No point. At one point, so there's a jump scare, and then all of a sudden we go to her driving her son to the police station, drops her son, she's, bring your son to work day, I guess, and then her partner's like, hey, kid, let's go find something to do. And she's like, oh, yeah, go with him. Oh, it's cool. He's trying to be friendly to my son. Then they go in a room. They go in one of the conference rooms, and he's like, 48 hours or the French Connection, 48 hours. He puts in the film, and before he turns it on, new scene. That's it.
There was point.
And then the next fucking scene is her smoking outside of her house.
Smoking.
As if she, and she's stressed out. She's smoking outside her house. Jump scare behind her. It's like, oh my God. By the fifth smoke, I was like, Joe, fifth smoking scene of her outside her house. So stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Just terrible. And fuck
Not
this
worth
film.
your time.
What a shitty way to start 2020. Our first video of 2020.
Know this by now.
It's one of the
It's
worst
movies.
films.
I was so excited. I
in
wanted
Jan-
to see a good
you
movie.
shouldn't. You should have known. You
Not for
shoulda had
this
some.
movie. I wanted to see the good
That's
movie.
next week.
I wanted to see
hopefully.
that one.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do our final verdicts.
Okay. For me, I just thought the acting was subpar. Like, right in the first 10 minutes, you already knew the outcome because it was, like, pretty much laid out to you. I was like, all right, so we don't really need to follow these people. So that was a waste of time, all these jumping around. The editing was terrible.
Yes.
Pacing.
Yeah.
Awful.
That was, like, too much of nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't deserve those. Well, it didn't earn any of my, like,
None
attention.
of it earned.
Or there was no tension.
They were all jump scares.
Yeah, nothing but jump scares.
Wow.
Like, you don't deserve that. Was cheap. It's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was horrible, and it started getting kind of cheesy at the end. I was like, wait, are they zombies? Are they ghouls?
Yeah.
What are they?
Ghouls.
It almost started turning the Grudge creatures into zombies, and I'm like, oh my God, because so many of them start to come. Because anybody that enters that house will then be haunted, and then
Yeah.
sometimes
And-
they will turn into the
Yeah,
Grudge.
and like what Alex said, it was like, so it was so inconsistent. I was like, oh, I don't know what the rules is. Sure, just finish this movie.
Kill
That's what I
them.
felt.
Please
So-
kill them already. I want to go
this
home.
is, yeah, it's a 3 for me.
3.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
3 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm also at a 3 out of 10. So
Okay.
I get tense around jump scares. Like I like.
Yeah,
No, I don't like
love
jump
horror
scares.
movies.
Huh?
Love horror movies.
I like
so,
horror
yeah.
movies a lot. Like I really do when they're
Love
done
them,
well.
but there's so many that are like this.
It was
They're
so
like
bad.
minefields.
And like the pacing was really inconsistent, and I almost felt like the director realized at the end of the movie that he had lost me, and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something funny. I'm gonna scare him, and he's gonna run into a closet, and everyone in the theater is gonna laugh because how ridiculous the situation is, and that's what
Well,
kept
no,
happening.
they ran in the closet because in one of the previous movies, the murder was happening. The person was looking from the closet and seeing all the murder. So the closet thing was a Grudge thing.
Oh,
That's
cool.
why it was there.
Cool.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah,
I
and you didn't. I mean, by the third time you hear,
I didn't
this
care.
Is the third movie.
I just wanted him to die. I wanted everyone in this movie to die. And like I mentioned earlier, they were the zombie things, the demons, the ghouls could have killed everybody immediately. And then they didn't. And then because they didn't, and then they're just like, I'm going to scare you. And at least when Pennywise scares you, there's a reason, right? He's feeding on your fear.
Yeah.
He's doing things. This one's like, I'm going to go, ah, and then I'm going to run away for no reason. So like this movie was terrible. Now, it was shot competently, right? There was no shaky cam, so it doesn't get a 1. But I don't ever want to
even see how it gets a 3, honestly.
Like I want to give it a 2,
Do
but
it.
it's not that bad.
No, it is for me. So
I'm gonna give it a 3 if I'm trying to be consistent in my movie. This movie is terrible. Please don't see this.
Yeah,
Please
for sure.
don't see this. Save your money. Go see 1917 next week, which I'm hoping is very good. But yeah, this movie is a 3. Garbage.
And I think too, I think you have to watch The Grudge because it doesn't really give you any content. It's like, oh, what happened in Japan?
Yeah, so now if you didn't watch it,
yeah.
you have no idea what's
I don't
going
remember
on.
anything about The Grudge. I don't know if I've seen it, but I wasn't lost. So
Okay.
like I kind of got the gist
Well,
immediately.
you don't know what
Not the
happened
case.
over there. There was a rage.
Right, you
All you
wanna
see
know.
is like
No, they say in the very
tell
beginning.
you.
There's like text in the
The
beginning.
text, that's
yeah,
it.
there's
I
exposition,
brushed
and there was red dripping
Exposition
text.
That's always a good
Yeah,
sign.
and I knew it was important because the text was dripping red
Yeah, it was
with
like,
blood.
it's a curse.
Never You'll
We're
never
not going to
escape.
show what happened at the house. Okay, I guess there's
Bad-
some rage. I don't know
bad
what happened.
stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but
2!
a 2.
2 out of
Okay.
fucking 10. Okay, there's no redeeming qualities in this film. There are a few jump scares. If you like jump scares and you like missing jaws and maggots in your jump scares
gross.
that last for 2 seconds, and you like that over and over in multiple timelines, just set up and then move on to the next
there's
one.
no setup.
Hurry up,
Yeah.
set up next scene. Let's go. Bring the lights, bring in it. Okay,
Maggots,
turn the
bring
lights
in
up.
the maggots.
Jump scared. And then next. We need a refresher. Lady smoking. Kid, what?
Little girl vomiting blood.
Jump scare. And so the fact that this is the third Grudge, and when you're bringing back this basically dead franchise, you would think that they have something new and interesting to add to it. But no, it is so derivative of the last one. And this one, the only thing that it delivers is there's a lot more Grudge creatures, because anybody that dies via a Grudge or gets captured by a Grudge goes home and kills their family, and they are a Grudge, and all their other family members that they killed are now Grudge creatures.
Is that how it
And
works?
then they come in, yeah, because
It didn't work in this one.
Yeah, in the end, there's multiple Grudge creatures. There's a guy. There's
there's
the
the
mother,
original family.
There's the other family. Yeah, anybody that is
But the real
affected
estate
and killed.
agents people didn't do it. They're not even consistent in their own stupid lore.
Right, but eventually they'll be out there doing their Grudge bullshit. Anyways, fucking terrible. 2 out of 10. Don't waste your money on the Grudge, though you weren't going to see it anyways unless we came out here and was like, y'all need to go see it. No.
Yeah, just because Sam Raimi's
Save
name is on this, like,
your
stay
Don't
on
be
it.
fooled.
That's a
don't be
sad thing that Sam put his name on this. It's only produced by, so he can
He
fall
provided
back
the
on
maggots.
that.
He's like,
Yeah,
I
because it
got
was
him.
it was directed by Nicholas Pesci.
Pesci, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like all the grossness of like the dead things and
Something.
those effects are good.
Those look
That's
good.
why I give you 1 point. And then that it was in shaky cam and it was filmed is another point. Yeah, and y'all are probably
sound
giving
worked.
an extra point for Mandy, I guess. But me, no, fuck it, I'm done. So that's it, guys. Let's do a quick spoiler section. Come join us in the spoilers. Don't fucking waste your money.
Don't
on
watch
this.
this movie.
Do something else. All right. So we'll see you on the next Angry Joe show.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys. What's up? Welcome to the spoiler section.
Spoilers. All of the
Spoilers.
cars are from the 1980s, so it makes me feel like they meant to film this in the 80s and wait a minute, we need cell phones. And so they gave
It was in
everybody like
Pennsylvania Crossroad. I don't know.
I don't know, but they're all
Crossroads, Pennsylvania, Joe.
cross something.
I mean, it was so goddamn big, we better know.
Yeah.
Classic.
Like, holy shit.
My
It
eyes.
was super bright.
And then he jumped to 2007, 2004.
But they had their flip phones, though.
They did have flip phones.
Yeah,
2003,
pretty
so
cool.
stupid.
It's cool flip
All right,
phones.
so right off the back, like, she opens up the case file, and, well, she's a cop. All right.
Spoilers.
Well, we're in spoilers, right? Yeah.
Spoiler, she's a cop.
So Mandy's a cop. She opens up the file. She sees all these dead bodies, or all these dead people. So you already know who's dead, but we keep backtracking to their story, which you don't really need to know. They're already dead.
Okay, Joe had no tension because these people were already dead. He knew they were dead.
Yeah.
It's like, how, and I guess the only cool thing is, how did they die? And did you find it cool how they died?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
No, did you?
The whole scissor thing was kind of gruesome, but they didn't even show it.
Yeah.
The guy grabs
Yeah.
scissors and he kills his pregnant wife and then drowns himself.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like, oh, that could be savage, and they don't show anything.
So Harold and Kumar, basically he gets, he's the real estate agent.
He's Harold. The
Here's
Harold
the
from
thing
Harold.
I
and
don't
Kumar.
understand. They should have done. I was like, oh, he is a real estate agent. How many people have entered that house? No.
Nobody but the older couple, I guess.
That was one person. I don't. Buy it.
And then
That would've
the
been
detective.
Do you think
Yeah,
that the grudge
way
spreads
more
like
interesting.
crabs or something? That's just like, oh, no, you got them.
Apparently
They're
it
on
did.
you.
That's what it does.
That's what it did. That's
Are
what
you
it
weren't
did in
paying
this movie.
attention, Alex?
Everyone
What the fuck
gets
is wrong
crabs.
with
Like,
you?
I don't know
As-
how ghouls
yes,
work.
As soon as you
That's
said,
the one thing that was
as
laid out.
soon as you step into the house, bam,
you
got it.
You got it?
Yeah,
That was the one thing that the
that's
movie
what
laid
it
out.
said.
Anyways,
So I was like, oh my god.
so who stepped in the house, Joe?
It was Harold. Not
Harold
his
from
wife.
Harold and Kumar.
It was Lynn, husband.
Lynn is who? The old
Lynn,
lady.
the old lady.
And then we've got a husband character of the old lady who kind of believes that the house is haunted, and he wanted her to die in it so that maybe she'll come back and he gets to be with her
Yeah,
in
she's-
a new way.
she's
What was
dying.
that subplot? That
Yeah, it was
subplot
super
of
weird. I thought they were going
he's like-
somewhere.
yeah. And then it
Because
just
he
kind
just
of
wanted
doesn't.
her to die, but still be in the
But
house.
still be
'cause
in the
he
house.
Still saw her.
But
It's
he
like,
knows how freaky and how like bloody
well, it
and
didn't
mean
do
these
anything.
creatures
It
are.
didn't
So
do
what
anything,
the fuck?
Though. That's what it was pretty inconsistent. 'cause
Right.
He saw him, but they left him alone.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make
Yeah,
any fucking sense. He's in the
exactly.
fucking house.
Exactly.
This fucking
See,
film.
it's not like crabs. How dare you?
It is
He
like
didn't get-
crabs.
he didn't
'cause
get
did
crabs.
get killed. Eventually,
He
you're going to
died.
die.
You're
Ghouls
going
didn't
to
kill him
die.
though. He got stabbed in the neck with a fork.
Anyway, so who else? The old dude.
The old dude, and it was
And then-
the one who started it was I don't know what she was.
But why were the old cops, the cops when they were partners, the Hispanic dude and the white dude walked into the house? Why?
Because they were the original investigators of the lady that worked in Japan.
Yeah,
She
the
came and
little
killed her
girl-
whole family.
And killed her whole family. So we missed that. So the original lady realtor or housekeeper, we don't even know who she is or why she was in the original
She was a
house.
caretaker
Caretaker.
That's what I wanted to
in
see.
Japan,
Yeah.
and then
Japan,
she comes home,
over,
but
and
she
so
brought it
then
with her.
It was her daughter and her
crabs.
husband.
She got crabs.
With the cul-de-sac haircut, I guess, and the beard or something.
Cul-de-sac haircut.
Yeah, he was
Male pattern baldness. I don't think he cut his hair that way.
Yeah, no, it's cul-de-sac.
That's a new look.
Yeah, he's trying to go back to be a friar.
So they didn't die, and then this one, and then old lady, and then one of the detectives.
The old lady.
How did he
the
didn't
other
die?
detective
He didn't get crabs.
I know.
The old lady didn't.
He went to a mental hospital, or he blew his face off. He tried to kill himself, and I guess
He
the
didn't know how
grudge is-
guns work, and so he shot himself like
In the
this, and
cheek.
he only shot his cheekbone out.
I guess he put the gun in his mouth and then pointed it towards his cheek.
Yeah.
And blew his
Worst
cheek off.
cop ever.
And so I guess that's why the grudge leaves him alone and keeps him alive because it's like you're
you
an
can still
idiot.
see them. He
Ha,
rips
ha,
his
ha,
own
ha.
eyes out, which sounded like a really good idea at the time. I was like, he's onto something.
Like I
you wanted
said,
the
it was
film to
very
end.
consistent. It's like, why don't you just kill these people? You have a grudge.
Who
Fucking kill
else? We need to bust out the Jameson.
Who else do we have?
See, this doesn't let me down. It's so nice.
Oh,
The white
the
guy.
hospice lady,
then
right?
Right. Shut the fuck. And then
And
the
making the
hospice
grudge
lady
noises.
comes. Okay, yeah. Oh, I was just being just annoying. And so the hospice lady who comes in because he wanted assisted suicide for the Lynn, and he couldn't get it. She realized he was cognizant, but no, she wasn't cognizant.
She
so
was talking to a
wouldn't
dead
allow-
little girl.
Yeah. Anyway, so she dies, and then the newest detective, Mandy, comes in the house. And so she is supposed to be the focal point of the movie, but you see there's so many other characters that have to die. We have to flesh out who they are, what happened in the past, what happened in the present, and how it factors into the end. And then finally Mandy's like, okay, fuck this shit. And then she goes in the house, and when she goes home, she starts to see the grudge peoples, and then something's licking her leg, and it was her dog Frank. But then something's licking her leg again. We never see what's licking her leg, and
His little boy.
and
Wait,
Frank
no,
comes in
little
like,
boy
what you
wasn't
want?
there.
No,
Little
because
girl.
the little girl was never after. It had to be the dad, which is real creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The dad with the cul-de-sac haircut was like,
Cul-de-sac. and I didn't mean to say haircut.
I
because
know,
I don't have good vocabulary choice, but it's a cul-de-sac on his head. Anyways, so she's eventually like, oh fuck, I don't want to kill my son. I don't want this thing to affect me as I've seen it affect other people. So the movie meanders as she smokes in front of her porch 3-4
Again.
times, and more things appear in
Yeah,
the.
you see the.
I guess
see
the only cool
guy
thing
like
is you
coming
see in
at
the
her,
windows
like,
every once in a while. If you look at the windows, you see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in her house, And she turns on the lights and turns it off. I'm like, what is this? Lights out. Here we go. And so then you see the guy. Then she does it again and walks off. And he's in her space that she was in. So it's like that wouldn't have worked anyway. So whatever.
He's like, ah, she
Inconsistent
left. Damn
powers.
it.
Yeah.
I would have grabbed her if she didn't leave.
But he's not
Whatever.
trying to kill her. He's just trying to like lick her leg again or something weird.
What's
So
your
then
taste,
she's like,
man?
fuck this. I'm going to protect my son.
I'm gonna
So
call my-
instead, she drives her son to the house and she says, stay in the car. That's her way of
She
protecting
calls
her
her
son.
partner
she could
over
have
first.
easily given her
Yes,
son
that's
to the
another
partner.
thing I want to talk about too.
She
Yeah.
calls her partner. She's like, I'm going to go commit arson. He's like, cool. I'm a cop, but I don't care. Cool. And so
Yeah, but there's a reason he's like, oh, yeah, fuck this house.
Yeah, but he could be like, hey, take care of my son.
Right, exactly.
fuck
That's
would
what
you-
I told
yeah.
I told Melissa. I was like, why didn't you just give her son
Yeah, and the
to
next
guy?
scene, he's not even there. I was like,
So
all
that
right,
whole
whatever.
point of him, I can take care of your son and have him watch a movie over here in the room, had no
he
fucking
was,
point.
He was basically pointless
Pointless.
throughout this whole movie. All he does
He
is
was
like,
just this
stay
smart
away
one.
from the house.
sick mustache,
Then he leaves. Then he
He
comes
had a
back.
sick
It was a
mustache.
Stay out of
really
the
good
house.
Did
mustache.
make smoking look real old man cool. But
Yeah.
other than that, he
It
was
was
pointless.
a smoking ad. Is basically what it was.
So then finally,
Oh, yeah. I do want to smoke now.
finally, she puts the house on fire, and as she's dumping the gas everywhere, she sees all of the things that play out in the house. What plays out in the house, Joe?
The first one we get is that woman that brought it over. She drowned her daughter. Kept
No.
slamming.
No, she kills the husband
She
first.
did. She
Yeah,
kills the husband
and
first.
then he's
I
like,
wanted
"What
it
did
in
you
order.
do? What did you do?"
What
Because
did
the
you do?
husband was like, he was mad.
Oh,
'cause he
that's
killed-
why he was mad. I was
Yeah,
like, okay, but
and
they show it
she-
out of order.
They showed it out of
show,
order.
What did you do? What did you do first? And then they do it. So then that means it was a flashback within the flashback
Yeah.
within the flashback.
Yeah.
So
and
then
the
he
ghost
beats the
wanted.
shit out of him. And
Why
he
can't
falls
they
down
just-
the stairs. He's like, dead.
Yeah.
And she kills
And then
herself.
she jabs a knife in her, so
Dead.
she's dead. And then did they show any of the other stuff? No, because I guess they
No,
showed
She
because
the
it-
drowns
other
the little girl. We see her drown the little girl.
stuff. But at that same time of the reveal, don't we flash back to Harold killing
Yeah,
his wife? And
yeah,
they're,
Harold.
they're already dead. It's saying, hey, you remember how they died too?
Don't forget about us.
Yeah,
We're
don't
in this-
forget.
But then they forgot about the old lady and the old man. It's like, well, we already showed that. Well, you already showed Harold
They
and the
didn't
other
show-
one. Why are you re-showing that one?
the old man, large old man, right? He's probably 250, 240, and he's dead in the kitchen, fork in the neck. We see him.
Tiny fork in
Yeah.
We see him in a the comfy chair, right? Because you
Yeah,
give Granddad the comfy chair, so he's sitting in the comfy chair. There's no
Watching the
way
static
that
TV.
Lynn can carry his ass and put him in the comfy
The
chair.
Grudge
Uh-huh.
helped
The,
her.
grudge
She's
people,
possessed.
the grudge people can like
Yep, the
lift
Grudge
him.
people
Oh,
helped.
okay.
She
That
wanted
might-
it in there. So.
all right.
Supernatural
yeah.
powers.
How silly of me.
Like-
I'm sorry.
It's like Emperor Palpatine. Supernatural.
Unnatural.
Unnatural powers.
How do we always come back to
I
Star
don't
Wars?
know.
Can we
This
please stop?
fucking movie? So
I'm almost
finally,
out of whiskey.
they end. She bursts the place on fire.
Well, we get a
Uh,
new grudge power that we've never seen before.
So then finally, her son is in the house, and he's like, "Mommy, I'm scared. What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And we've got this subplot the whole fucking time where it's like, "Hey, you remember what happens when we get scared? What do we do when we get scared,
We
Joe?"
run. We
Yeah.
fucking run.
Yeah, we run away. We pee ourselves a little bit,
No.
and we run as fast
You
as we
close
can,
your
but
eyes,
not into a closet.
and you
Close your
count to
eyes.
five.
And count to 5.
Why?
But the little kid didn't know.
Nobody close their eyes.
Even though
Yeah,
the
she
kid,
didn't. She didn't close her eyes.
even though the kid knew the whole fucking time, so he doesn't know what she's talking about, and she realizes this is the grudge.
This has to be a ghost.
It's a grudge.
It's a new ghost power that we get in the last 5 minutes of the
Mimicry.
movie.
Or she could just look out the window.
And then, okay.
Mm-mm.
Hey, get over, son. Because she was by the door. She was by the door.
No, he's a fake. That's the grudge. I hear him. All right, so then finally she's like, fuck it. She lights it.
Burns
She lights a
his
little
ass
kid
down.
on fire. She wasn't like maybe the kid was sleepy and he forgot that what to do when he's
No.
scared. She lights a little kid on
knew.
fire.
She knew.
So she lights the kid on fire, but you could see that it's the grudge lady, but it's like the American caretaker grudge lady that's the main grudge lady here. Not
It's
the
a little
Japanese
little
one.
girl that she lit on fire.
I thought it was just she was
At that
so
point,
short.
I was like, whatever.
And I don't give a fuck. And then the whole house goes into flames, and then she goes home and everything. And then they do the little jingle music, so you're like, oh, everything's
Happily
fine.
ever after.
Arson's
You're
not
like,
illegal
everything's
in
not
that
fine.
town.
I'm like, Joe, here it comes. And then she goes home, and then the school bus shows up. And she's like, Billy, it's time to go to school.
His name was weird. What was his name?
I don't fucking care. So it's like fucking go to school, and so she hugs him, and he's just he's just featureless the whole time. I'm like, damn man, what the fuck this is the Grudge person. And the mom's like, and the little kid in the background, I'm going to school, mom. And then she realizes who she's hugging. And then it turns into the Grudge lady, and then the Grudge lady drags her, and she's screaming.
Yeah, beating her against the floor.
And beating her against the floor as she drags her. And then it shows the outside of this house, from the 80s, even though it's in
there for like 2
2000s.
minutes.
I
Ford
never
place.
clapped at a movie ever, and when the Grudge was killing her, I wanted to. I was like, yes, this movie is over, and I wanted you to die. But I didn't do it.
It wasn't Mandy's fault, though. I don't understand why you'd be mad at Mandy.
She knew what
She
she was
didn't do
signing up for.
anything.
I'm glad she got paid, but
it awkwardly
Overall.
holds on this scene, and I guess that's what you were talking about, Joe, that we didn't know what was going on at the end.
Yeah.
It just shows the outside of the house,
No
and then
credits.
it plays
not,
the credits
well,
on
not
the
yet,
outside
but
of
you're
the
just
house.
like waiting for
you
something.
hear her
else.
screaming
Yeah.
a little bit,
Screaming.
and then the
And
movie
then it plays the
ends.
credits, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It was a cool shot. But no, everybody thought it was hilarious that we
I
got
was
the credits.
laughing.
I like that last little bit, but I didn't like the whole movie and the way it ended. So I was like, all right, fuck
Yeah,
this.
definitely not worth your time.
Terrible.
Terrible.
That's it, guys. So we start 2020 in the worst way possible.
Stinker.
2 out of fucking 10. I'm curious to see what game I'm gonna review first. I hope it's I guess the first one, at least looking at my list, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Can't be anywhere near as bad as this. So save your money for that. And I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.
Make sure you like and subscribe, and maybe check out some merch. Maybe check us out on Twitch as well.
That too.
Yeah, we want check us out on Twitch. All right, see you guys on the next one. Bye.